You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. And on this episode, I have something very special for you today. In fact, this episode was actually inspired by a very recent YouTube video that I did where I actually decided to do a 5-minute, well, let's be more realistic. It's more of like a 7-minute meditation. And the 7-minute meditation is meant to relax you, calm you. And what I'm going to do today is have you listen to it on this podcast. And so I highly suggest that if you are in a space where you can meditate, that you get into a comfortable position, whether that be lying down or sitting up or anything that's going to make you feel more comfortable. Even if you're on the train ride, it's a good time to do this, but don't miss your stop. Don't do this in the car. This is not meant for the car. It's meant for a comfortable space where you can just listen and follow the guided meditation that I have here. So don't worry, this is not going to be 5 or 7 minutes of silence, or else I wouldn't have a podcast like this. There are brief moments of silence, but it's a guided meditation to help you through the nervousness, the anxiety, and the fear around anything in your life, and of course, specifically in the area of dating. So I want you to come back to this podcast when you are feeling that fear, anxiety, or nervousness. I want you to come back to this podcast episode when you are about to go out on a date, when you are about to go out and meet some women and do some approaching. This is a podcast that's meant for you to come back to multiple times. Of course, you can come back to all the podcasts whenever you want, but this one is more of a tool that you can use. And it's a really great guided meditation. It's something that I ended up finding online, searching through different guided meditations that I found the best. And this one was absolutely awesome. And so it's really cool that I found one and now I'm going to be speaking it to you. And then you can use that as a way to guide yourself through the calm, through an area of serenity, and just doing this, like I said, when you're feeling those tough emotions inside of your head and through your body. So come back to this and use this for any situation, especially in dating. And if you're listening to this now, give it a shot. Even if right now you're like, no, I feel fine. Like I don't feel any nervousness, anxiety. That's okay. It's not just meant to calm your emotions down, but it's still meant to bring you to a state of presence, meaning a state of the now, where you can just focus on that. It's very good for your brain. It's very good for your body. In fact, I'm probably going to be listening to this myself and using it, although it's a little funny to listen to your own voice guiding you through a meditation. So maybe I'll use some other cool apps. There are other cool apps out there. No, this is not a sponsored podcast, but I do recommend using something like Headspace, which is really good. I've used that a little bit. And I just downloaded a new one called Calm that I'm going to be trying out as well. So yeah, you can check those out. But either way, if you don't want to check those out, you got this right here and ready for you. So here is the guided meditation. Enjoy. To begin, make sure the body is in as comfortable a position as possible, either sitting in a chair or lying down on the bed or the floor. Allow the weight of the body to settle down towards the earth, taking a few deeper breaths and letting go a little bit more on each out breath. Now allow the breath to settle and to find its own natural rhythm, letting the breath breathe itself. Try not to interfere with this process and notice how the body moves in response to the breath. The chest expanding and relaxing, the belly rising and falling. If your breath is affected in any way by your illness or pain, then just noting this with a kindly, gentle awareness. Try to let go of any ideas about how you think it ought to be and just rest with an awareness of how things actually are for you in each moment. Sometimes it can help to include an image with the sense of the breath. You can imagine a wave flowing up the beach, turning and flowing back out to sea again, noticing how the movement of the breath has a rhythm very like this. Or you might have another image that you find evocative and calming. Use your imagination in your own way to help the mind and the body settle around the breath. Notice how each breath is unique, how no two breaths are the same. Notice the texture, the quality, and the duration of each breath. If you notice the body or the mind tensing up around the experience, in the noticing you can gently let go again without judgment. Do this over and over again if necessary, with a kindly, gentle awareness. Include any pain or discomfort in the body within your broad field of awareness. Very often, we resist feelings of pain or discomfort, and this just leads to more tension, more pain, and more discomfort. Use the breath to help soften the hard edges around the pain and allow a tender, gentle awareness to permeate the in and the out breaths. As you use the breath to soften resistance to the pain or discomfort, you may notice how the experience of pain is in fact a constantly changing mass of different sensations. Experience how it comes into being and passes away moment by moment. Now you can broaden out your experience even more to invite in the pleasurable dimensions of your field of awareness. They might be very subtle, such as tingling in the fingers, some sort of pleasure around the breath, or maybe the sun is shining through the window onto the skin. In your own way, scanning through your whole experience and noticing little moments of pleasure, no matter how fleeting, arising and falling with each moment. You may notice that each moment of life contains elements that are painful and elements which are pleasurable. This is the way things are in this world for everyone. Notice a tendency to harden against pain and to grasp after pleasure. And in the noticing, relax back into the broad field of awareness. Now broaden out your awareness still more to include an awareness of others. Become aware that all humanity experiences a mixture of pain and pleasure, moment by moment, in much the way that you do. The stories of our lives are unique, but the range of basic human experience and emotions will be very similar. We all have hopes and dreams, fears and regrets, no matter where we live, our age, color, or wealth. In this way, we can allow our own experience of pain and illness to become a moment of empathy for others who are in pain or who are ill, rather than a moment of isolation. All life suffers in one way or another. All life experiences pleasure in one way or another. In the same way that you imbued the breath with a kindly awareness towards your own experience, you can now allow a kindly awareness to permeate the in and the out breaths as you think of others. Maybe you can get a sense of the whole world breathing, all life breathing like waves on the ocean, rising and falling. Allow a sense of the hard edges of separation to soften, letting go into a sense of all that we share and a feeling of connection with all life as you sit or lie here resting quietly with the breath, moment by moment. Rest with this quality of awareness for as long as feels appropriate for you at this time. Now, in your own time, bring the meditation to a close. Come back to a full awareness of the body lying on the bed or sitting on the chair. Feel in firm contact with the earth. Tune into the movements of the breath in the body and gradually externalize your awareness. When you're ready, gently open the eyes, take in your surroundings, and re-engage with the day. See if you can take this quality of awareness with you on into your life as it unfolds moment by moment.